Hey, what's going on, guys? I wanted to show you that you do not have to be a large field mass multi-enter firing, 50, 100, 150 lineups to leverage the models and projections and lineup optimizer and some of the more advanced tools that we have here at FantasyLabs. And so I thought I would do that with golf since that kicks off soon. We can start with simply by taking a look at model ratings, by looking at projections, by taking a look at projected ownership, our leverage scores, and our leverage scores are great. It basically takes a player's rank and projected ceiling, which we have here, and takes a look at their ownership and decides how much leverage we can have on the field. So if you're playing large field, you can honestly sort just by leverage and start getting a look at some guys who might have some good leverage and maybe combine that with a decent rating or a decent projection that we have here. And so I will do that right off of the bat. I'm going to just lock both of these guys in and Schauffele. And then let's take a look at projected ownership here, maybe mix in a little bit of the chalk, some of the higher ratings. And so now we've got 4 golfers. Now you could just take a look at how much remaining you have and realize, yeah, obviously this kind of a lineup isn't going to work. So maybe let's get off of the chalk a little bit. Let's unlock Rory out of our lineup here. And let's maybe remove another golfer and Im as well. So now we can start to say, well, where can I get some value? Well, you can take a look at their points per salary. Or one thing that I'll do is I will leverage guys who are a lot smarter at golf than me. Like Chris here. So Chris writes this article and I can go through and start reading through this article. I can take a look at what he thinks is top tier, what he thinks is kind of more of that core, or maybe taking a look at some of his value plays. So like we've got Kevin Streelman here and Clark are 2 good values. I can also maybe go back to this and say Wolf looks good. Maybe I should play Schauffele since he really likes him. So we can kind of go in that order. So Wolf was a guy that he liked. So let's lock in Wolf. He's got a great rating, good ceiling. Leverage score, not so much. Looks like he's going to carry some decent ownership, but that's okay. It's totally fine to eat a little bit of chalk in these large fields contests. And it can be easy as that. You can continue to build this out if you want to, just using our lineup builder here, and you can hit optimize, or you can hit optimize, and it'll start giving you a lineup, and you can kind of start to work off of that. Now, one thing that's really cool as well, these locked players that I have, if I go to optimizer here, I'm just going to leave all of this default. I'm not going to get into a lot of like the custom player correlations that you can do, or you can start grouping players that you say, you must use at least 2 or 1 of, and then you can just honestly start adding players. Like every single one of my lineups needs to have these 2 players. I'm not going to do that though. So let's remove this rule and apply these settings, and let's just go to the optimizer itself. I'm going to generate 10 lineups here. Actually here, let's just make it 15 and hit generate. Now, I'm not saying that you have to just go use these 15 lineups, but what I really like to do based off of, 2 or 3 players that I think are must-haves for me and I absolutely need to have them, I like to see what the optimizer gives me in regards to a different combination of lineups. To maybe I wasn't really looking at Alexander enough and he's in all of these lineups, or maybe I wasn't looking at Vegas enough, Jonathan Vegas enough, and he's in all of these lineups at a low ownership. So that can cause me to maybe just do a little bit more research if you want to dig into a little bit more, or just trust the data, right? I am using a data-driven model here and it says it likes him. So that's one way to go about it. You'll notice I didn't have Vegas locked either. So it did choose that for me. What's really cool is you can edit this model too. So this is just a data-driven model that we have by default, but maybe we want to focus a little bit more on recent and not so much on long-term. So we'll drag some of the recent or some of the long-term out there, and let's put in a little bit more recent greens and regulation. And I don't know this course. I don't play PGA DFS very seriously. I just donate in a lobby. So if this is like a course where driving distance matters, let's bump up driving distance, right? And now what we can do is we can hit update and it gives different ratings. And now we can kind of start to build based off of that. You don't have to be in DraftKings just using the DraftKings builder. You can build right here. And that's what I do for NFL. I keep all of this data available to me. and start build right here for all of my SPY entries, all of my single entry stuff, all the head-to-heads and cash that I put. I usually build right here. I don't have the DraftKings tab open as I'm building. And you can just start using all of this data. You can filter by adjusted round score and have your golfers just by adjusted round score. You can filter, by putts per round over the last 75 weeks. You can take a look at their bogeys. You can take a look at their missed cut percentage. There's so much. You can see this is just long term form here. So anyways, a very winded example of leveraging some of the analysis that we do at FantasyLabs, as well as all the data that we have, and helping you, come up with a unique lineup, or helping you come up with a more of a cash lineup, right? Let's go just by rating, and let's take a look at who this model thinks has the best rating and then compare and contrast that to maybe some of the guys that we write up at FantasyLabs, or some of the guys that you like based off of your own research and you following the sport itself, and understanding that maybe Gary Woodland is a great play. And we kind of think that too, right? Just based off of rating. A lot of that will be driven by his salary here. He does appear like he might be a little bit of chalk if we just take a look at the sentiment rating there. And yeah, 17 to 20% is our projected ownership for him. But that's fine. If you're playing in cash, this seems like a fantastic cash play. And that's probably why he rates so well in a model like this. So there are other models that you can look at too. Lots of different models that we've put out, or that we've made and have put out. So you can just do the tournament model, the Vegas heavy model. You've got Bales putting models in here, as well as Kevin. So yeah, any questions that you guys have, just let me know. But I wanted to show you what it looked like to use our builder to generate one lineup, or 3 lineups, or maybe you're playing a 5 max or a 20 max and you do want to leverage the optimizer a little bit more. Just wanted to give you guys some insights to what FantasyLabs offers for golf. So anyways, take it easy and run good this weekend, guys.